Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner podcast. My name is Mike. Lou is pushing the right buttons. Right, Lou?
A lot of buttons to push today.
Nice air in here today. All week long, there's been no air conditioning in this building. And if you hear strange noises, it's not Bill and I fighting. It's just that people are working over our heads, underneath our feet. They're all over the place, right?
Yep. Wait a second. They cleared out for you. You should have heard it this morning.
Yeah, but I paid for pizza. That's how I got rid of them.
Good strategy.
Well, that's the way to do it sometimes.
Except I didn't get any pizza.
Hey, listen, today's a special day. First of all, Bill, it's the first day officially that Encore Boston Harbor becomes a sponsor of the Sicilian Corner podcast. Yeah, that's what I say too. That's what I say too. And in honor of that, who better to ask to join us on today's show is Jenny Holaday, and she happens to be the president of Encore Boston Harbor Casino. Jenny, welcome aboard.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Bill. Happy to be here.
Morning.
And this young man sitting next to me, well, he's kind of a mainstay. When we're going to talk about Encore, Bill Dorazio always comes in and sits next to me because he keeps me on the straight and narrow and makes sure I don't say anything that's wrong.
Yeah, I can kick you easily.
Well, this is it. Yeah. But anyway, Bill, everything Encore.
Boston Harbor.
How many people now?
Almost 14,000.
Last time you were here was 13.
Yeah, we gained about 1,000. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. Jenny, that's a big help for your organization, isn't it? Getting the word out.
Oh, we love it. I mean, it brings so much value to us. On the one hand, when we do something right, we hear right away. When we do something wrong, we hear even faster. When we need help, like with some of our charity events, they come out in droves. So the Everything Encore people are really just an amazing group of supporters and information for us on how to continually improve the operation.
That's, something that speaks volumes. The one thing I've learned, especially with Facebook, you cannot please everybody.
That's a fact.
Impossible. I don't care. You could be Jesus and you couldn't.
No.
You're not going to satisfy everybody because there are certain people, they're set negative ways, and they're only going to look for crazy things.
Right.
That are strictly mundane.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
They like that.
Exactly. Bill, you just got done a 3-day stint at Encore. What were you doing?
I was doing Feed the Funnel, which is a nice little event there that puts food into the local food banks. We had a goal and Jenny could tell you, to reach 500,000 meals and hopefully over 1 million again this year with the next event in December. I
was with you last year. I loved it.
We ended up doing better than the 500,000. We did 591, 798. So close to 600,000.
I want to ask Jenny. Jenny, how did that come to be? How did the groundworks? Where did it start from?
So it actually, the woman who's in charge of our nonprofit and community relations efforts at corporate, her name is Monica Muradkin. She really brought the Pack Shack, which is the company that does it. She brought them to us, and it started off small. And at first it was only in Las Vegas. And so then we said we'd love to do it here as well. The cost of living in Boston is so high that food insecurity is a real problem here. And so I'm an incredibly competitive person. So when she brought it here, I made sure I knew how much Vegas's 13,000 people had packed, and then set a goal for our team to do better than that, which of course we did. And ever since then, it's become sort of a rivalry, which only benefits the community. So it's turned into a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work. You can ask Bill. We were both feeling it at the end of day 3.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so satisfying.
So rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. The best part about it, from what I observe, people are having a blast. I mean, last December when you had that DJ that was on that night, that guy was incredible. I mean, the people working the tables, feeding the funnel. I mean, they're dancing. You would never know I mean, they're working pretty hard between the guys carrying the boxes, putting the tape on. How was my tape job? I didn't do bad, did
You
I?
did great.
Oh, sure.
The MC this year was fantastic too. You might know her, Kim Kerrigan from. She used to work for Channel 7.
You know something I know of her. I don't know her.
Yeah,
as a
she was
person.
very good, Jenny. Very good.
Yeah, Kim's great.
Jenny, you just said that about Boston being an expensive city to live in. I mean, some people are paying 65 to 70% of their pay just for a place to stay, which is nuts. It's crazy. You've been in the Boston area now for what, 9-10 years?
5.
That's what I said. You've been around for about 5 years.
Feels like 9 or 10.
Yeah, like a little bit longer. I'm sorry.
After those
73.
After those 5 years, what are your thoughts about the city of Boston?
Well, first of all, I love it here. I don't know. There's something I think just about who I am that fit really well here. A lot of people think I'm local after meeting me, which obviously I'm not. So I love living here. That being said, in my industry, it's very difficult to recruit here because of the cost of living. So my pitch,
Good point,
when I'm trying to grow our base from experienced folks in other parts of the country, what I say is, a lot of gaming initiatives are centered around economic development improvement. So they're not always in amazing world-class cities. So to have a resort of this magnitude in a city like this is just a really unique opportunity. And if that matters to you, then it's a no-brainer. Of course you want to come here and work at this beautiful place and live in this beautiful part of the country. But not everybody buys my pitch.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
You've traveled a great deal in your career. And prior to that, you moved around quite a bit with your mom. And, it's nice to hear what you have to say about Boston and New England, because to me, I love New England. I just do. I like every aspect of it. Boston traffic sometimes, not so much. The only thing that I don't like, Jim, to be honest with you, is when I'm at the set of lights on Route 99 trying to take a left to go into Encore. That's the only thing that bothers the living bejeebus. Cheapest creep. Could they make that light any longer?
I have so
fall
much.
asleep. The car nudges me. Chris.
Oh my gosh. So all my friends from around the country, because yes, I've moved. I counted with my mother once a couple of weeks ago. I've moved 27 times.
Oh my God.
I know. But so all my friends, there's some crazy Boston videos out there that they'll send me on Instagram. And there was this one of bumper to bumper traffic on Route 1 up by Peabody. And there was a woman, you have to merge and we don't always like to let each other in.
Yeah.
And this woman was sitting in her car just screaming, no, no. No, as people were trying to merge. That is so Route 99 to me all day long.
Oh,
hilarious.
I agree. I don't know you very well, but the one thing I can do is read between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a person that absolutely loves her job.
Yeah.
I just from the few times that I've talked to you, the few times we've met, I get that sense right away. And I'll tell you, your staff, your fellow workers at Encore, boy, I have never heard one person say a bad word about her.
Me neither.
And when you're sitting at the top of the heap, you're open for a lot of shots, let me tell you. Yeah, like I said, people can be very, very fickle and very funny, But I also heard a rumor. I don't know how true this is, but your immediate staff, people that report directly to you, they refer to you as the Queen of EBITDA. Is that true?
I haven't heard that before, Mike.
First of all,
Thank
tell
you.
people what EBITDA stands for.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's our cash flow, but it stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
And
And
you're the
it's
queen.
I've never heard that. So
Oh, I have.
I'll say it this way. Yes, I love my job and I have a lot of responsibilities and there are a lot of things I need to accomplish. But the easiest way to think about my role is I am the primary person responsible for our financial and customer service performance. That's my job. So, yes, EBITDA and our financial performance is a very important part of my job. And I think it's important for me, so much about being in the top spot is about developing the next generation of leaders, and that requires me explaining to them why I make the decisions that I make, why we
That's
follow the
good.
strategies that we do is to educate them. So
And
I
you're
guess it's a good thing that they know that word.
absolutely a very important word, especially
Yeah.
in your kind of profession.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the bottom line is what counts. That's where the tires hit the road. And you know something, you got to be held accountable. And the buck stops at the top. That's for sure. That's for sure. Boston Magazine. You've been quite a hit with Boston Magazine. I mean, the last couple of years, they've most influential person, one of the most influential person in Boston. I mean, somebody who's been here 5 years.
I know, right?
That speaks volumes.
I mean, seriously.
It does.
I mean, it's hard to believe. And I was watching a video of you, Boston University had on their website. And they have a segment called, what is it? Dean's Distinguished Speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And boy, you did an awesome job on that.
Oh,
You
thank
just
you.
sat there, you took question after question. You know what I like the most?
What?
The red shoes.
You call it Dorothy now.
You
I
look
love
so-
those shoes.
Oh, you should for what you paid for them. You should take those to bed with you. Love them, mine. Are you
Oh,
serious?
you're so
But
funny.
I mean, something. You're out there, and you're readily available. Which some people that make it to the top create like a prison. They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, a
with
little
nobody.
bubble. Yeah.
They're in a bubble. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's
don't
the way
touch
to
'em.
do it. Bill, I call you the mayor of Encore, unofficial mayor of Encore.
I'm
So
not
do I.
there.
You should. I mean, you are not an employee,
I am not an employee. I have never been an employee, and I never will
even
be.
though some people may think differently.
Oh, it happens
it's-
all the time.
It's crazy. But you know something? There's a two-headed sword called jealousy. And some people, no matter what, if they think you're ahead of them for some particular reason, they're going to shoot at you. They're going to take shots, and it's not right.
I don't understand the jealousy factor because we do this for them, right? We do this for the members. I don't
It's
do
a
this
service.
for myself.
It's a
Right,
service.
exactly. This is just a courtesy that I decided to do because I was retired and I thought it was a good fit because I've been gambling in Vegas for year after year after year, and Encore opened in Boston, and I felt this was a great opportunity to help people, right?
Yep.
Educate them on how the business works, and hopefully, that we get recognized by Encore, which we do, and it's supposed to be that's it. Just
goes
share
hand
information.
in hand.
Yeah,
But you started Facebook in Vegas.
I did in 2000.
Why?
Why? Because I was going to Vegas. I hate to say this, I'm gonna cringe. Like 12 times a year, once a month.
Louis, not 8, not 10,
Yep, 12.
once a month.
And when I had a job, I was circulating quite a bit of money through Vegas. So
What's your favorite hotel?
I hate to say it. I like the Cosmopolitan because they have the patios, and
You're talking now.
yeah, and I have a very good host there. When I had she's been with me.
How do you get
forever.
a host? You have to spend so much. Is that what
it's all
it is?
based on your play? And
Huh?
Jenny can explain that to you. It's all based on your play. But
Now, I have a very dear friend of mine. As a matter of fact, he's going to be on the show in about 3 or 4 weeks. You ever hear of the Butcher Boy?
Yep.
The Butcher Boy?
Yep. Just to buy all my
It's
meat
a very successful family story. And I'm very, very, my closest friend is Tommy Amin. That's the family that owns the Butcher Boy.
Okay.
And I started working they were my neighbors. And I started working for them when I was 13 years old up in Salem, New Hampshire.
Wow.
When they went to work, I jumped in the back seat of the car and I would
You
go
went with them.
I had
You.
no summer. I mean, I was 13. I was working crazy. Whatever they worked, I worked. You know, it was
Great.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But he has a host. And I'm saying to myself, you know, how the hell nobody's ever I'm a minnow, I guess. You know, it all depends on what you spend. Is that the way it goes, Jenny? Or am I wrong? Or
No, that's right. That's right. So think of a host as like your personal concierge.
That's all.
And we obviously can't give everybody a personal concierge. You
Oh,
know,
I
20,000 people walk through this building in a day.
How many?
So about 20,000. Yeah. So you can't be a personal concierge for everybody. So that's how we think of it, is a personalized service that we offer to customers.
It's
who
a
are-
reward for being a good customer.
It's a service. Yes. You call it a reward. Yes, absolutely.
That's why they have a rewards desk.
I'm glad I know you.
Yeah. I heard something from one of the people that worked there the last week when I was there about you have now, actually, I believe it was, what's the name there? One of the hosts, that you have hosts now for the reward desks, 4 hosts.
Yes. We call them Win Rewards Casino hosts.
Yeah.
We've got
You
3
talked
of
about
them.
Yeah.
So that they can be available on the floor.
That's something new.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's been very popular. Yep.
Good for you.
I figured
Good
I'd
for
bring
you.
that up.
No, that's a good plus.
Yeah.
That's a good plus. Maybe someday when I grow up, maybe I'll have a host.
You can have one now. You can go and talk to the one that's on the floor. That's what she's trying to tell you.
I don't, you know, something like I said, I have a ball. I love it. It's a vacation for us just to get away. It's so close. I can't go to a better hotel in Boston. I just can't. It's impossible.
No, you can't.
You know, and the views. I love the boats. The outside and early in the morning, like you said, or at night. We were there for 4th of July, Jenny, as you know, and we watched the fireworks from our room. This is the 5th year that I've done it.
And people on the page say you can't see the fireworks on the 4th of July from the hotel room. Wrong, right?
You know something? Pull those nice big comfy chairs over.
Look at that.
Temperature sitting at 68. You open up a bottle of Prosecco. You have some grapes, some nuts, the whole 9 yards. And those fireworks, there's 2.5 miles in a straight line away from the Esplanade. But they are so vibrant and just bounce at you. You put the TV volume on so you're getting the noise. Are you serious? Nobody's stepping on my feet. There's no mosquitoes. There's no nothing. Who's the smart one? Wow, that's who. I don't have to worry about finding a pocket space.
There you go.
Nothing. And it's just, it's to us, it's like, as long as I'm around and I can do it, we go there for the 4th, and it's a pleasure. It really is. It is an absolute pleasure. You know, it amazes me, Jen, that you're as down to earth could be, and plus you're reachable. And to be able to say that about somebody who's responsible for plus or minus 3,300 people, to a company that's going to do over $1 billion in sales, that's credit to you. I mean, you're very well grounded. All this fame and all this being the first female president of a major casino, you know something, I know you're grooming people to take your place. And you know something, I think it's absolutely
That's what
incredible.
you do when you're in that business.
This is when you're in that position, you should always have someone beneath you that wants to take your job.
Absolutely.
You have to. Yeah. If I get hit by a bus, things can't fall apart.
Correct.
Well, this is it, you know. But I mean, you went from one extreme to the other. I mean, you went to college. You were an English major, I believe.
Very good. Yes, sir.
And you want to be a teacher,
A writer.
a writer.
Yep.
And talk about complete polar opposite from going from being a writer to being in this type of an industry. That's incredible when you think about it. I was thinking about that on the way down here this morning, and I shake my head. I give you a lot of credit. I really do. And hats off.
You're so kind. I'm going to say two things about that. The first thing, I love to tell people geography is destiny. And you referenced my mom earlier. What you're around ends up, I think, usually playing sort of an outsized role in the shape that your life takes. So in hindsight, I don't think it's actually as surprising as you'd think. And the second thing, and I remember when I was trying to figure out my major and English felt lame, and my mother saying to me, anybody who can communicate well will always be employable. And being able to communicate well is arguably the most important skill any of us need that are leading large organizations, because you need to be able to communicate the strategy and hopefully inspire and motivate the teams to deliver against it. So I guess in my mind, it kind of makes more sense than you'd think.
Okay. No, you explained it well. And your mom was really such a role model for you to get you kind of involved a little bit in the gambling industry. I need to take a break, and we're going to listen to the Encore ad for the first time live. And we'll come back, and we'll be talking with our president. You know what I mean?
Sounds good to me.
You got any questions for Ginny? Give us a call, 978-659-0072. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Anywho, I like that. Hope to see you soon. Bill, you have a question for Jenny?
Yeah, I figured we would hit this subject. And Jenny, if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. But I keep getting a lot of messages on the page about people asking about something about a poker room being moved.
Yep. So our plan is to move the poker room from where it is upstairs, downstairs into the closed night shift space.
Okay.
We have night shift. The demo is done and it's all enclosed and ready to go. I will be honest, the project was put on hold because of the tariff situation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the company across the board evaluated all of their capital projects. And as you know, we have a very large project under construction in the UAE. So we had to make some priority decisions. We're also creating a new slot area upstairs where On Deck used to be. And that that one's, yeah, I know, wouldn't that be nice? That one's continuing. But because we have a poker area right now, the relocation project has been delayed.
Now, in that new slot space upstairs that you're talking about, do you plan on putting any type of food outlet in there, like sharing that space with the, like a fast food outlet or something?
No, we think that right now the outlets provided by Frank and Nick's and Shake Shack are serving the customers' needs. Plus, we have Red 8 open 7 days a week as well. Fratelli's open 7 days a week, plus Dunkin'. So you've got 5 options
Okay.
on the floor. It's one of the reasons why we've repurposed the space is, I always say customers vote with their wallet, and Shake Shack definitely outperformed on deck. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to
Yeah.
figure it out. It's more affordable. And so we're just adjusting based on customer usage and
Sure.
demand.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So are you planning on putting that as a high limit slot area or just a
Nope.
regular?
Nope. Yeah, just regular.
Okay.
Because it's a completely non-smoking casino,
Mhm.
access to the 2 smoking patios is always an important option for our guests.
True.
And so that's one of the reasons why we picked that area, is that smoking patio isn't used as much. Everybody goes to the one downstairs and can get kind
Downstairs.
of crowded on the weekends.
Okay.
So that was the other thinking there.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
No, that
Yep.
sounds good. You know, the biggest knock that I hear from friends of mine, people that I really I'm not going to call them close friends, just people that I know, that we may be out to dinner, and naturally we start talking about Encore more than likely. And the biggest knock, Bill, that I hear, they say, wow, it's so costly to go there.
Yeah.
But, you know, you look at the food that's being offered in the restaurant, you can go from either top notch or, you know, you were talking about Frank and Nick's, you're talking about the shake for a hamburger. I mean, I think you could, there's a good, what is it, 15 different restaurants or 14 different restaurants in the,
11.
that's what I said, 11?
Yeah.
That's a magic number today.
I'm doing good.
Today's 7-Eleven. He has 11 employees that do
Hey, yeah.
the gardening.
Today's lucky
right?
day.
11 restaurants.
But I mean, between those 11 options
Yeah.
for dining,
Yeah.
and the other thing I have to say, and if you're a guest, compliments the in-house dining. That's underrated.
Yeah.
In-house dining.
In-room dining.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
To me, I mean, the food comes to you as fresh and as hot as if I was sitting in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's huge. It's so much easier. I'm not knocking restaurants. But don't be leery about ordering in-house.
Oh, absolutely not.
In-room service.
It's amazing.
Because it is. We had a waiter come to our room, and he was from Italy, and we started talking, and he set up that table. Honest to God, you were thinking you were in a 5-star restaurant. Just beautiful. Yeah. But like I said, when you're dealing with a lot of people, you can't please everybody.
No,
you just impossible. The question I would like to present to you, Jenny, is I live in New Hampshire. Bill lives in New Hampshire, and right now we have a lot of casinos that are being opened up. And are we getting to a point in the industry? I know they're for charity. A good portion of their winnings goes to charity, and that's the way they're able to get the licenses to come into the area. But you go to a lot more to casinos than I do. But are the odds as good there as, say, at Encore or other Connecticut casinos?
The return rate on your play is much higher in Massachusetts than it is in New Hampshire. People don't want to believe it, but it's true.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And somebody really took, he says, well, you're prejudiced. You know, Encore this, Encore.
The facts don't lie. You can look up the numbers.
Because it's.
New Hampshire runs around 82%. What's in Massachusetts, like in the 90s, Jen?
It depends.
Yeah, 91.
Return
But
to
if you're playing a penny machine, the return would be a certain percentage, which 89 maybe, something like that on a penny machine.
In New Hampshire or Massachusetts?
No, Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, in the 90s.
A penny machine?
Yes.
So if you're playing
overall,
if
the
you're
overall
playing,
return to player percentage is in the 90s.
So whether you're playing on a penny machine, which can cost you up to $6-7 or more, or you're playing a dollar machine or a $5 machine, the return doesn't increase to the.
Well, look at it this way. If you look at all the statistics that are out there, which I do with Casino Player Magazine.
That's why you're here.
Okay. You have penny machines, then you have quarter machines, and you have dollar machines. Of course, as the amount goes up in the machines, the percentages is higher for the return.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
That's a known fact.
Jenny, do you know, like, say, with a $5 bet, what the return would be, say, at Encore?
Well, Bill's right. It depends on the denomination that you're playing.
Yeah.
But he's also right in that there's a difference. I don't want to get too technical, but
No,
in
no.
my business, okay, so in my business, the type of machine actually makes a difference. So here in what we call commercial casinos, so true for Massachusetts, true for Vegas, other traditional markets, Atlantic City, et cetera, we have what we call class 3 slot machines. So that means that the math is determined by a random number generator. When you purchase the machine, it has an EEPROM, it's a little computer chip, and you usually have 3 levels of a par setting or the return to player, everything Bill's saying. In New Hampshire, class 3 games are not allowed. So they have 2 different alternatives. The customer doesn't always know the difference, but Bill, who studies the industry, does, and he's right, then the return to player follows this. There are video lottery terminals, VLTs they're called, which always are going to have a higher hold rate than a class 3 game. And the other is what you're probably familiar with, a historical horse racing model, which is also a math model. So both of the games that are allowed in New Hampshire are structured differently, which is why there's going to be a different return to player. But you could get lucky and have a great experience on a historical horse racing machine or a video lottery terminal. And the manufacturers have done a great job making them look similar, but in their guts, they're very different.
But there is one thing that does, looks wise, separates them from a traditional that we call an RNG machine. If you look at a historical horse racing machine,
yeah,
you'll look at the top as you're playing. People don't look; it's at the top. You can actually see the horse races across the top of the screen.
No,
yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Louis, did you know that? Louis works at the Brook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him. Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I've been once to the Brook. It wasn't a very positive experience. I wasn't comfortable.
The other big difference, Mike, too, is that
I know what you're used
in
to.
Massachusetts, the tax threshold is $11.99, so you can win up to $1,199 without getting taxed. In New Hampshire, it's based on percentage. So I believe it's 100 times your bet.
300 to 1.
300 to 1.
Yep. Doesn't.
So if you bet like 60 cents, you're going to end up, and hitting anything at $600, you're going to get taxed.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. First time ever when it happened to me, and I was like, "What? I'm getting taxed on this? I was paying $1.76, and I'm getting taxed for $612. It's not going to happen in Massachusetts."
Bill, I want to ask you a question. When you hit it Encore, and it's say $1,200, and the machine is doing its thing,
yeah,
and of course you got people standing behind you watching this, which I hate. But anyway, besides that, do you let it do its thing all the way to 1,200, or do you hit the button and forget it?
Are you kidding me? When you have a jackpot, you got to let it rip.
That's what I do. That's what I.
think I. Aw.
Machine is going to be due. People don't realize.
No
Me, I put My limit is in the afternoon. I'll put $200 in the machine.
Mhm.
That's my budget.
Yeah.
And I'll play with it. If I lose that in 20 minutes,
Yeah. You're done.
I'll call up and go for a massage and spend 300 there.
Sure.
I won't put another dime in the
Sure.
front.
Good for you.
I go for dinner, have a nice martini, then I'll play again with a fresh 200.
Yeah.
But I like putting 200 in the machine because hopefully I can play on that slip right through.
How come I keep losing everybody? It must be me. Hmm. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Forces as mobility bone. You know, the biggest. So it's interesting, the aspect of that.
Yeah,
because
they
I
don't
didn't
own the
know,
machines.
like some of these tribal organizations.
Hmm.
See, I'm not a
Get
beer
the sample.
drinker.
I'm not either, but you partake in what's there.
Well, you know something. I have I can't even stand the smell of beer, and you know I'm in my. You know, I'm getting up there in years.
Yeah.
And try going through the service without drinking a beer. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
And my brother, if my brother's had 4 or 5 beers in his lifetime, I'd be shocked.
Oh, that's funny.
My father, Sam, he balanced everything out because he loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he'd be out cutting his grass.
Oh,
and-
beer drinkers love their beer. I have brothers who love their beer. And me, I have like maybe 6 a year. It would be
So
about
you don't
it.
like beer?
It's not that I don't like it. I'm not a drinker.
So your choice?
I'm not a drinker.
Wine?
Not a drinker.
Nothing at all.
No, not really. If I
All right,
were to
everything's
drink,
back for the moment, Mike. If you want to take your break, we'll get to the break. We'll see what.
Okay, look. We're in your hands, sir.
I rarely drink. It's just not my thing.
Okay, I get it. Ginger ale.
No.
Lemonade.
No.
Water.
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Okay.
Iced tea, water, unsweetened.
Sounds good to
A
me.
little lemon in there.
All right, I think we're going to break.
Yep.
Okay.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 833-273-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. We had a major internet situation. I'm sorry we lost some valuable time. Jenny Holaday is with us, and as you know, she's the president of Encore Boston Harbor. Bill Dorazio is with us. Jenny, when you back in 2019, the demographic, the biggest age core you had was 49.4, something similar to that, almost 50. And now it's like close to 42. Have you have to make adjustments in the way you're doing things or what you're offering to people?
Not much. I don't think that a 42-year-old and a 49-year-old are really that different in terms of their preferences. We definitely skew younger on the weekends, but that's when the nightclub is activated. The entire gaming floor, especially all of the table games, are all going because that tends to be what the younger crowd likes better. And the Vibe and Rare Lounge will also change on the weekend when there's a lot more younger people here. Mystique will be a lot busier. So back to your earlier point on the price point of the offerings, there's also different vibes, I guess, for lack of a better word, with the way some of the outlets change as the weekend brings in more young people.
Yeah, it seems like everything seems to be going to a younger demographic, which brings me to this question: craps, 21, blackjack. I mean, they're two outstanding games, and the odds are pretty good on both of them. They really are.
Yeah.
Is Encore taken or even considered maybe having some classes like on how to play craps, like on off days when things are relatively quiet, or even setting up a couple of tables in a separate ballroom, not in the casino, and teach people? Because I'll be honest with you, I'd love to learn. I'm somewhat intimidated to go to the crap table. I was just wondering if any of that has been processed in your mind already.
We do that upon request. Sometimes we'll have groups in-house that would like some private tutorials. We can't do it in the convention center because of the gaming regulations, but we do it upstairs in our private salons when they're not occupied.
Perfect spot, yeah.
But quite frankly, more and more, a lot of people watch their tutorials online before they come visit us. That's become very popular. But so not so much anymore. Earlier in my career, years ago, that was a lot more common thing that a lot of different resorts offered. But now that everybody learns all that stuff online, there's not as much of a demand.
The numbers in Vegas this year are down slightly. And Vegas is is a city that reinvents itself every 5 or 6 years. I don't know who's ever in charge of marketing is doing a phenomenal between the Super Bowl, between race cars and everything else that goes on. They've managed to draw more and more people every year. I noticed the last year, 16 months, the numbers have come down slightly. Is the gambling industry being cannibalized with all these different casinos opening up?
I think that that's a regional risk, like what we were talking about earlier with New Hampshire and Massachusetts. But I think Vegas will always be Vegas. And what you're
Amen, brother.
what you're referencing is, I think the chapter we're in, and I'd love Bill's opinion on this since he's been going for so long. But it feels like Vegas is now kind of becoming a special event town. And it's getting more and more packed with really unique events. The Sphere opening has changed a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
So you're right. They're brilliant at, making sure they're creating reasons for people
Unbelievable.
to come. Yeah.
It's more of a vacation destination now, more than a gambling
Well,
destination.
I was looking at
so I agree with Jenny's.
I was looking at the amount of conventioneers they're getting, and that number has gone up considerably.
Yeah,
So
big numbers.
that's bringing people in. But I was just wondering, everybody seems to have a casino here, casino there, or whatever. New Hampshire is a perfect example. I was just wondering if there are too many of them and they're eating each other, like what happened in Atlantic City. Jenny, you did some time in Atlantic City, and I mean time working.
Thank you for that distinction, Mike.
That's the other thing I was thinking about. To get in the gambling industry, the security is so tight. To get where she is, I mean, they went through with a fine-tooth comb. What were you, a Girl Scout or something? Huh?
There you go.
I always say I will always be the squarest person in the room.
I don't believe, not with your personality. I don't believe that for a nanosecond. So you right now, you feel that what took place in Atlantic City, it's not going to happen nationwide, right? I mean,
I think Atlantic City is a little bit unique in that it was huge back in the day, because you have so many large metro areas that did not have any other option.
Exactly.
So between Philadelphia, DC, New York, all of that came to Atlantic City, and that entire town was built around that reality. And then as all of those places legalized, obviously the picture began to shrink dramatically. I think one of the things that will help us in Massachusetts is we were one of the last ones to the party. So I'm sure we definitely negatively impacted Connecticut, and New Hampshire will definitely take a bite out of us. But I also think as long as it's not crazy, unregulated, explosive growth, I think there's enough room for everybody. When they do go crazy, that there are two markets that occur to me, Illinois and Pennsylvania, sort of no limit whatsoever on either VLT slot locations or number of casino licenses. That can get a little tough.
Bill, you have a question?
I do not.
You're quiet.
Well, I do have one question. The outside down by the south lawn, is the tent still up, correct?
Yes.
Now that's used for private events, basically.
Yes, private events, and we do a couple of public events. We're going to be doing. There's probably going to be a fall. Well, it's invitation only, but you would be invited. But yes, it's usually weddings and conventions and groups who use it.
Okay.
Perfect place.
Is there any plans to do anything else with the ballroom as far as like entertainment or anything like that in the future? Or
good question. That's a good question.
Yeah, because we haven't done that since 2019.
I know it comes up a lot. Part of it, there's two problems to that. The first one is it costs us $185,000 just out of the door to stage it as a concert area. So and you can only fit about 1,200 people. So the economics are very challenging. But the other thing that's happening is, you may have heard, there's a 25,000 seat stadium that's going to be opening across the street.
Yeah. Is that a given? Is that a given?
Well, they're going through their MIPA process and all of their permitting and environmental work right now. So that'll probably take about a year. But we're working under the assumption that they're going to open, and that's going to be a big entertainment draw. So we would coordinate with that as opposed to compete with that.
Unbelievable. As we were talking and you mentioned Vegas, My first trip to Vegas was 1967. And Ginny, you were just a little girl back then.
That was the year I was born.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah.
This is the big one.
Yeah.
This is the big one. We stayed at the Aladdin. I was a big fan of Elvis Presley growing up, as was my wife. And we went in 1967. I had just turned 22. My wife had just turned 21. And we were blown away by Vegas. I mean, to us, it was, I couldn't believe it, how nice it was. Then we went back 2 years later. We caught another Elvis show, and that was at the International. Remember the International?
I do not.
Yeah.
No.
You too. You know, between the
I didn't
two
go
of
to
you-
Vegas till 2004, Mike. I went on my 50th birthday. That's when I went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
International
I
was
love
across the
going to
street from the
Vegas
Big Hilton.
because
I was raising 4 children. It was not easy to go to Vegas.
yeah,
back then.
yeah, we didn't have any children, unfortunately, but you know something, we spoiled each other, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right, Jen? But the entertainment plays an important role. I always believed in it. It draws a ton of people, but when you look at the numbers, like what you just said, with 1,200 seats, it's impossible. You can't make a dime.
No.
You can't. Between what these artists get and everything else,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Everett is very lucky. Everett, Massachusetts, is very lucky to have Encore
Absolutely.
in their city. Believe me. I hope that the expansion works out, and it will. It's just a matter of time. It's not if it's going to happen. It's going to be when it's going to happen. Correct, John?
That's what we say.
Oh my! A cloud
Well-
just came by.
Are we still in-
It'll
oh,
be-
yeah.
between the stadium, between the plans that you guys have, that whole area, what did it bring in on taxes and everything else?
Plus all the community work that they do for people that doesn't really get enough press. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know that.
It really
Yeah.
doesn't.
This Feed the Funnel is an amazing.
And that event she had at the end of last year where they had all the leftover gifts that she ended up selling off and donating the money.
Jenny,
I mean,
I'm very
really.
sorry that we had this interruption with the internet. Is there anything you'd like to say? Because I have to wind it up.
No, just thanks so much for having me. And Bill, thank you for being such a wonderful partner for us. We're so lucky to be associated
my
with
pleasure.
you.
And
as
thank
your-
you for
yeah,
being a good friend, Bill.
Yeah.
For
Thank you.
me.
Same here.
For me.
Same here.
Take care, everybody. We'll be back next week.
All right, have a great weekend.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.